Now this is the story about some guys who made fun songs for people half their size. They're the greatest band the world has ever seen, but if you want to know more, it's time to spill the beans.
I like asking you guys things about your band.
Sure you do.
What do you want to talk about today, Daniel?
Well, I thought we could talk about your first album, Gophers in Loafers.
Wow.
Yay!
Yeah. I'm holding here the 10th, what is it? Special 10th anniversary edition of Gophers in Loafers. This is the album that started it all for you guys. You've been writing songs, playing some gigs for $75 or $100 back then, and
on a good day.
On a good day.
I remember some $50 gigs.
Playing a lot of care centers and retirement communities.
Yep.
And occasionally a classroom or two.
Yep.
Yep. I had this terrible joke that I would tell at the nursing home that we played at we did a couple different nursing homes, retirement communities. I joked that, hey, you guys are pretty much the same as the audience we play for at the preschools. You take a lot of naps, you don't have all your permanent teeth, and some of you are wearing diapers. And I thought, I am so funny. Yeah. They did not laugh.
Well, they were asleep.
Yeah,
some were.
All those poor folks.
We've had
poor folks.
So what was the very first song, very first String Beans song?
That was Bombshy Bomb.
I believe it was Bombshy Bomb.
Bombshy Bomb is older than the String Beans because I wrote that when I was in high school.
Wow.
Wow.
I don't know why.
When was that? 18.
Let me think. My Triceratops was born in.
Yeah. So you wrote Bombshy Bomb. Why? Yeah. What do you remember about that?
I don't remember why I wrote that. I just remember coming up with this tune on the guitar that I liked, and then I said, Percy the polar bear, Percy the polar bear. Okay, what's he doing? He's floating around an iceberg or something. I don't know. What's he? Why? Oh, he's looking for a home. Where does he end up? I don't know. Florida? That's the last place you expect to see a polar bear, right?
Twist.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry to say I don't remember many of the specifics of how that song came along. I just remember thinking, okay, here's the chorus. I don't want to write a chorus. I know, I'll just go bum, she bum, she bum, bum, she bum, bum, bum. It's a lot easier to do that than to write words.
Well, sure. There's Na-Na songs and Da Do Ron Ron, and you're in good company.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, a little bit of lazy songwriting there, and that became the first String Bean song.
And you played it at a bonfire.
You know, again,
yes,
I have no memory of this at all.
This is how legend goes. It was a campfire, bonfire campfire, on our acreage years ago, 16, 17 years ago, with some friends, and one of them, my friend Kim, who's an educator for elementary school kids, was like, that would be a great song to perform for these elementary school kids. She goes, you guys would be so awesome to have coming to schools and performing music like that. You could totally be paid a lot of money. Everybody always says you make a lot of money on this, but it takes years for us anyway. So that was the initial inspiration, and like I had mentioned before, I was working a job that was a little dry and boring, and I wanted to try and change it up. What could I do? And convince Curt, let's write some more songs and see where we can go with this and perform. So
yeah, I remember he came to me with this idea to write children's songs and perform, and I thought that'd be kind of fun to do something with my brother.
Right.
And write some new songs. I thought this will last 6 months.
Yeah.
If we're lucky. We'll do one show, and we'll write enough songs to do one show about 6 months from now. We'll do the show. I figured it would go terribly, and we would just drop it. And doggone it.
Kept going. People
going.
liked it. But you know, speaking of Gophers and Loafers, so then Curt wound up writing basically an alphabet song. Gophers and Loafers is what it was called.
The title track.
The title track. A to Z, which was pretty fun. Curt wrote a lot of songs on this album.
Yeah, Gophers and Loafers was kind of just a challenge I gave myself, just to see if I could write a song alphabetically that rhymed, comparing animals with clothing. I just thought, can I do that? Can I start with an alligator and go all the way to a zebu and find clothing that rhymes with each animal?
Kiss. I saw ocelot kittens wearing warm woolen mittens and a pot-bellied pig in a powdered wig. The quail were dressed in tux and tail, and the reindeer had scuba gear. The sheep and other grazers wore double-breasted blazers, and the turtle wore a girdle. They said her name was Myrtle.
And I did that again with the Yeti Ate Spaghetti song.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I've written a couple other poems with that same theme: animals with jobs, animals and different places, like different locations around the world.
There's one you did. I don't think we ever fleshed it out, but there's one about animals and different forms of transportation that they take.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever heard that one, Randy.
I have not.
Maybe someday.
Maybe someday in a van ride.
The lyrics are written. We just got to come up
Wow.
with a tune, and it's kind of the opposite of how I usually write. I usually come up with a tune, a melody
Right,
first,
and then write lyrics.
and then I figure out the lyrics. Doing it the other way with the lyrics first is, to me, it's like riding a bicycle with steering wheel backwards or something like that. It's just, is that how you write music first, then lyrics?
Seems like sometimes I'll have a tune. Not always. I mean, I've just had ideas. Like, I've been working on one song for the last year that I just haven't gotten back to, called The Playground. Because that was just the idea, was kids on a playground. And just trying to figure out the tune. I haven't figured out the tune yet, so I've started writing some lyrics, getting some rhymes, but not knowing what to put it to yet.
Well, how about like songs you wrote for our first album, like Rodeo?
many.
I was going to ask, what's the first song you ever wrote, Randy?
Was it Chicken
'Cause I
Pot
don't know.
Pie or Rodeo? What was it?
I think it was probably Chicken Pot Pie, and I don't know why.
Because you don't even like. Are you rhyming on purpose?
No, no, but I'm not a fan of chicken pot pie. I think I've had maybe 1 or 2 actual chicken pot pies in my life.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, and I did burn my tongue on one because they were steaming hot.
Yeah.
And that turned me off right away. And I kind of,
That's no fun.
that's no fun. Burn the roof of your mouth. So that was kind of partially a true story about and then just what other kind of pies are there that could be apple, peach, pecan or whatever.
Sure. But was that a tune first, or was it the lyric first for you? Were you like,
wow, I don't even remember. I don't even remember. Probably the tune. I feel like it must have been the tune a little bit. So, but yeah, that one, and then the rodeo song, that was just me thinking about, when I was a kid with my grandpa going to see rodeos.
Yeah, Grandpa Harold would take us to the county fair and go see the rodeo.
Yeah.
Yep.
We hear about Grandpa Harold a lot. He had a good sense of humor, it sounds like.
Yeah, quite the character.
He was a character.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun. Well, and we'd spend a week or so every summer for a number of years when we were younger on their farm.
Best week of the summer for me.
For me, for sure.
I mean, they had dogs and cats and cows and pigs, and our Uncle Steve was a hoot. He'd give us rides on his motorcycle and stuff like that. And it was just always fun to hang out with Grandma and Grandpa. They'd let us stay up late at night and watch Johnny Carson.
Right.
So.
Exactly.
Yeah, a lot of good memories.
Yeah, and that's why I wrote the Down on the Farm song. I tried to kind of think, what could I do to kind of tribute to the grandparents, and the fun I had down there.
Speaking of dogs, did you write the song Oliver?
I did not, but I had a dog named Oliver
so
that Curt
you
wrote the song about.
About your dog.
Yeah.
Yes.
I see. Yeah. So how did that come to be?
How did that come to be? I don't even remember how I wrote that song. I'm sorry, I really don't.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
I just thought we needed a song about dogs because kids love dogs. Randy had a dog named Oliver, so...
And Oliver was always getting into trouble.
He was. A lot of the stuff in the song happened to Oliver. He crossed a skunk and got sprayed.
Yeah, he truly did.
He was just a good old yellow lab,
Good old dumb yellow lab.
Yeah. Just a real nice old farm dog.
He's a good boy.
He's a very good boy. Very good boy. What do you remember about Kindergarten Blues?
Why did I write that? That was when I was working on this grant for the university, and I was going into elementary schools and interviewing children, giving them tests. And so I was going to kindergartens.
Giving them tests?
Yes, testing them on like their opposites and just being able to read some basic words and stuff. And then we would test them a year later to see how much they'd learned. And then a year, I think you tested them every year for 4 years, so we so we could see how they were learning.
Sure.
And then we could tell what teaching strategies were working best.
By the time they graduate, they know what opposites are.
Yep.
If they listen to the string beans, yeah.
Yeah.
So at that time I was going into the schools, and I was going into classrooms, and I was thinking, well, a kid song about kindergarten makes sense. Why did I? And I guess I thought it was funny to twist it. Instead of saying kindergarten's great, let's say kindergarten's off. Let's have a kid who thinks kindergarten is the worst, and he's talking about how sad he is. He's got the blues because he ate his crayons. I actually did eat crayons one time.
You did?
We were on Romper Room. Do you
Yeah, I
remember the
remember
show
that,
Romper
yes.
Room? It was
You were on it?
Local kids show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
KOLN TV here in Lincoln had Romper Room one time, and Mom brought me. I don't remember if you were there or not.
Some neighbor kids seemed like was with you, I bet.
But we went down to the studio, and I was one of the kids. I wasn't like featured or anything like that. I was just one of the kids in the background. And they had this one segment of the show where they sat us down at tables, and there was a basket of crayons, and we were supposed to color with the crayons. And they said, "Here's what the lady said." She said, "Okay, kids, we're gonna do this thing, and then we're gonna have a snack." And as she said, "Have a snack," she set the bowl of crayons on the table. So I thought, "Oh, that's
snack.
the snack." You know, I wasn't the brightest
Crayon in the box.
So I'm like, "Huh, wow, that's cool. It looks like a crayon."
Tastes like
And it tastes
one must taste like.
terrible. Oh no! So that ended up in the Kindergarten Blues song.
What flavor did you select?
I don't remember that. I just remember thinking, these are the worst snacks. What the heck? Because none of the other kids were grabbing the crayons to draw, and they weren't grabbing the crayons to eat.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think I took things too literally in my youth.
Amazing. Well, it's interesting to me that I wonder if that experience made an impact on you in terms of being on a television show, because you then went into television as a career for a while.
Yes, that's true. I have worked at the local TV station as a
The same one where you were on
the same
Romper
one where I
Room.
ate a crayon. I was a news videographer for 2 years, and then a news producer for a year. And now my day job is producing videos at the university. But that, I don't think, had much to do with my Romper Room experience. I think my whole life I've been interested in movie making and television production. And my fantasy as a kid was to be a movie director. And then I was able to, I just lucked into this job at the TV station shooting video. And for me, that was like the next best thing. Because I was out there, I was filming, I was editing, I was writing. I'm like, wow, this is everything you do in a movie, and I get to do it here. And
get paid.
And get paid.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, initially I thought I wanted to be a paleontologist. We had an uncle who was a paleontologist, and I loved dinosaurs, and I collected all these little dinosaur toys, dinosaur models, dinosaur books. And we go out on fossil hunts in Kansas, western Nebraska, and
that's why I wrote the Diggin' Dinosaur
Kurt
song.
wrote the Diggin' Dinosaur song.
About our uncle.
You know, so
Which is also on this album, which
Yes, it is.
Gophers in Loafers.
Yeah. Our uncle Larry Martin,
The University of Kansas.
world
Yeah.
expert on saber-toothed
saber-toothed
tigers.
cats, and maybe even a little bit of early birds.
Archaeopteryx,
Yep.
the first bird.
Yeah.
He was the go-to guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll do it.
No, but I was big into dinosaurs, but then I hate to admit is, puberty hit, hormonal changes and all things. And,
Evolution, you might say.
my personal evolution, and literally my interest changed, being music and girls. So I'm sure my uncle was very disappointed, but I was always interested in art and kind of stuck with that, which I did do the cartoon characters on the cover, and I put together most of the
Randy has
artwork
designed
for the string beans.
all but 2 of the covers
Yeah.
for the 12 albums we put out.
The little logo for the string beans, website right now. Kurt wrote most of the
For our
songs.
10th anniversary, we re-recorded
Yeah, we
The
totally
entire
re-recorded.
Yes.
all new arrangements. We added an extra song.
Because the original album was just the two of you.
Yeah.
Acoustic guitar, some shakers, keyboard.
Very light on instruments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now they're full band production, bass, drums.
You playing drums on this? Rod did a lot of instrumentation on this.
Rod Kaler, producer.
And there's a song our mom wrote called Mr. Bumblebee.
That's
And our mom has written several songs on several of our albums. The first album, Gophers, I don't think she'd written any albums, but when
No.
we
No songs.
re-released it and redid it, I added her song Mr. Bumblebee, which is a lovely little ditty that I I co-wrote it a little bit with her, but it was her tune, her idea about bees, and it really I thought it was a really good idea because bees are in trouble, and we need to take care of bees because if we don't take care of bees, we're not going to have food to eat, basically.
We didn't have a bee song yet, so.
And we didn't have too many anyway.
Hey, Mr. Bumblebee, why won't you play with me? Do you have better things to do? Do. We could hang out for hours. I'll plant your favorite flowers. Buzz, buzz, buzz. I wanna be a bee like you.
She wrote Mr. Moonbeam.
Oh, sure.
And the Upside Down Christmas Tree on our Christmas album. That was her idea.
Oh, I didn't know that.
She started writing that. She didn't get too far, and I finished it for her.
That's a big local radio hit, that one.
Jenna and Joe.
They like the Upside Down
B107
Christmas
morning
Tree.
show. Yeah, they do like that one.
When we play our live shows, we do a bit with getting the parents up to dance. And one of the songs that we use for that is called Hot Cocoa, which is also on the first album, Gophers and Loafers. So where did Hot Cocoa come from?
I wrote that about a girl I had a little crush on.
Really?
Her name was Coco. That
Are
was
you
her
kidding?
name. Yeah, her real name was Colleen, but her nickname was Coco. Everybody called her Coco.
I did not know
and
this.
so I was like, she's kind of hot.
This is
So I thought
That's why this is called Spill the Beans.
that's why it's called the song's called Hot Cocoa. I mean,
oh my gosh.
so once I came up with Hot Cocoa, I was like, well, I got to balance it out now.
love
So
hot cocoa.
Cold lemonade. So that became the second half of the song about lemonade in the summer, hot cocoa in the winter. But
Well, you know what I always like to ask is, do you know where Coco is today?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, Coco, if you're out there, you've got a song about you. And the song has been remade on the Christmas album as well to be a Christmas version of the same song.
When I was writing
Cocoa
songs
Christmas.
for the Christmas album, I was having trouble coming up with ideas, so I thought, I'll just recycle.
Just thinking
Hot
about what he
Cocoa.
wanted for Christmas.
I'll just call it Christmas Cocoa.
Cocoa for Christmas.
Yeah, I'm not above recycling. It's good for the environment, I think.
We didn't really talk about Opposites so much just now. We've talked about it in the past on other videos, but Opposites became a huge hit for the band. It's the biggest song that you've ever released.
Just got a comment on our on the YouTube video
For Opposites, yeah.
for Opposites. Somebody, I assume it's a teacher, said they love the song and they're going to use it in their classroom tomorrow to teach their kids or their students. I shouldn't. It's Cambridge University Press. Emailed me and asked if they could use the song in a book they were publishing for English as a second language students, and I agreed. And so, yeah, the song has become our most popular international hit.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And the YouTube video has 200,000 views, which I know is not a lot.
It's a lot
Compared to the Jonas Brothers or something, but it's pretty good for the Bright Brothers.
Yep.
When I say day, I say night. When I say black, I say white. When I go left, I go right. We're opposites.
It's just so simple. It's just black, white, day, night, left, right.
Yeah.
Of course it's an international sensation.
Yeah. It's very surprising.
Simple ideas are always the best, I guess.
I guess so. Darn.
Randy, you came up with an idea for a song called What's in a Name. You said Curt kind of completed that idea.
Yeah. You started. You had mud skipper skips and a hippo's hip.
I don't even remember that, but just finding a word within a name, like hip and hippopotamus, mud skipper skip, those kinds of things. But it was really, all I really think I remember was maybe coming with that idea of it.
Yeah.
Curt took it and ran.
I think I wrote a chorus. What's in a name? Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Yeah.
And pretty much it was done. You'd done most of the heavy lifting on that one.
Yeah, man, I don't even remember.
It is hard to remember these things.
That's crazy. It's
16
been a while.
years ago, the first album, we were just trying to write songs as quickly as we could so we could actually do a live
show. Have enough
just
material.
fill a half hour.
Yeah.
It was like,
hard.
And that first year, we'd do every song in our catalog, all 10 of them.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
We jumped in the water with no idea how to swim.
Yeah.
I don't know how in the world. We must have been just awful back then.
We were good enough.
There's some video that exists.
Yeah, never mind. We were awful.
We must have been either good enough or cheap enough.
I think though,
At every show we did, somebody would come up to us after the show and say, "Hey, could you come to my church or come to my school or come
word
to
of
my
mouth
whatever?"
right away.
Hey, they didn't know what you cost at that point, so it must have been that you were good enough.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Plus the interaction, I think, between Curt and I, we tried to kind of make it fun and humorous. I think that helped too.
It's still my favorite part.
Like the Smothers Brothers, maybe-ish,
You
but
were
not
the
quite.
funny. He's the funny one.
I used to be a lot more funny than I am now.
There's video of
I
him
think.
sticking a bongo between his legs and dancing around, and you can just hear the kids screaming. They're laughing so hard they screamed.
Wow.
Because it was our first show at
Norris,
Tessa's
at her school.
her kindergarten class.
I remember.
Randy's shaking his bottom and banging the bongo between his legs, and the kids are just losing their minds. Boy, and that was back when I was still terrified to perform. So
Yeah, me too.
butterflies, major butterflies at every show.
Do you still get nervous before a show or not?
No, I don't anymore. Sometimes being on radio or TV, I'll get that nervous feeling again.
You know,
but
when we play the lead center,
yeah,
that would get me nervous because that's a couple thousand people in there really focusing on you. And
they're expecting more when you're on
They
the lead.
expect you to be
you're on
good.
the lead center stage. You just can't
Yeah.
come out there and slap a bongo between your knees
You
for
could.
half an hour.
It might be funny.
You never know.
But yeah, you want to do your best.
You've done that show a few times, or a couple times at least, with a full audience in the lead center.
Yeah, for
You were
3 and
with us
6.
on that one.
We did one,
We
yes.
did a full show years ago, which was free at 6.
The 3 and 6, yeah.
Where families could come in free. We filled it to capacity. It was great. It was also CD release for that show.
For the Christmas album.
Yep. And then we did for their celebrating Nebraska, or the lead center's 25th year, or was something Nebraska or whatever. It was a celebration.
Do you remember, Daniel?
No, something about Nebraska.
But
We were invited
we
to
just
sing
came
our
in and did our
Nebraska
Right
song.
Here in Nebraska song, and it was almost like we were the intermission in a weird way, kind of a feel, but it went really well.
Yeah.
Curt was really humorous. There was a bald gentleman in the audience, and our governor is bald, and Curt made a comment like that was him or
Hey,
something,
it's Pete Ricketts.
and it
I
was
was-
just humorous.
You know, I've told Daniel that when you went out in the crowd at
Right.
the lead center, and I was up on the stage.
Yeah.
And you were out there with the microphone doing
Right.
what you always do with the kids,
Right.
asking them questions.
But with the adults, yeah.
And I couldn't hear anything you were saying.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't hear anything up on the stage, and I just had to go from memory. I just because I know
Really?
in the song, in between each verse, I know which question you're going to ask. So I just
Wow.
so I just did my shtick, but no, I couldn't hear a thing you said.
I didn't know that.
So if the audience started laughing, I was just like, "Why are they laughing?" I had
Wow.
no clue. Do you remember being able to hear very well on the lead stage? Because
Well, I couldn't hear the music. I don't remember having a challenge hearing Randy and you do the shtick back and forth, but I remember that we had no monitor system.
Right.
yeah.
Or maybe they
That's
tried
true.
to hook one up and it didn't work. I don't know, but
It was
It was a
sort of
quick and dirty.
slapdash.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
yeah, because they had like 20 acts.
they had to get us on and off that stage
And-
fast.
Yeah.
and it was a drum set I'd never played before, and it was sort of like coming apart. And,
Oh no.
so yeah, sometimes when you play drums and there's no rug under you, you know, like the kick drum starts to move away. So in between verses, I'm dragging it back.
Funny. But yeah, I remember whatever Randy was saying, the audience was eating it up.
It goes to show you what you already know as a performer, which is, you know, sometimes you don't feel like you're clicking, but they don't know that.
Right.
You can have one of your best shows and feel like it's your worst. You can have what you feel is one of your best shows and it doesn't resonate in the crowd. We just never know.
Yeah.
Well, that is
Yeah.
true. I just have to assume we're always awesome.
Yeah, I assume so too.
Yeah.
Well, this has been Spill the Beans, and we've been talking about many things, including the Gophers and Loafers album, the very first record the String Beans put out back in 2004.
Yep.
My
and
goodness.
Then this is the re-release.
And this is the re-release, the 10th anniversary special
I
edition.
bet that was in 2014.
Actually, it says 2013. I'm not sure how we cheated on that.
Well, we
but
had to get it ready. We probably recorded
You
13
recorded it
and then
in
released it.
13. So that's the secret there. But if you would like to see any more conversations with the string beans of this nature, or if you have any questions you'd like to ask the guys, please comment, or you can send us a message at our email address, which you'll find right here. Let's get rid of that. You can also go to our website, thestringbeans.com. Here, we'll print it for you right here. There you go. That's a little high. Let's bring it down here. Thank you for that. It's hard work to do it myself. I appreciate the help with that. Anything else we need to discuss?
Visit our website, buy our music on iTunes, come see us live sometime if this coronavirus thing ever ends. We would love to see a live audience again.
That would be fun.
There you go. Thank you for watching. This has been Spill the Beans.